BBC fans voiced their anger after Sir Stephen Timms, Minister for Disabled People, appeared on BBC Breakfast to discuss the government's plans to save £5 billion from the welfare budget. BBC viewers have reacted furiously online after Sir Stephen Timms, Minister for Disabled People, appeared on BBC Breakfast and used the phrase less severely impaired. He was on the morning programme to discuss the government's plans to save £5 billion from the welfare budget. Speaking this morning, March 19, to Sally Nugent, Sir Stephen discussed his reaction to Keir Starmer's government's announcement of a major overhaul of the welfare system. During his conversation, he said that the less severely impaired people would lose out and feared that the new changes would push disabled people into poverty. However, fans of BBC Breakfast lashed out online after he made the remark, with one person saying, "Defining less severely impaired sounds tricky. This whole thing feels deeply insensitive." A second person chimed in, "That phrasing is unfortunate, to say the least. What about those who are struggling to get by?" A third typed, "What about the severely morally impaired MPs who support this insanity?" The interview comes after sick and disabled benefit claimants now face more frequent reassessments in a drive to save £1 billion, as ministers set out new reforms on Tuesday this week. Those with permanent or degenerative conditions may not have to be reassessed, but as part of the new reforms that would guarantee payments to the most severely disabled. The Work and Pensions Secretary, Liz Kendall, set out cuts totaling about £7 billion. The savings will come from making it more difficult to claim disability benefits, which are not linked to work. The Times reported that many Labour MPs are uneasy about the cuts, with one telling Liz Kendall yesterday that she risked pushing disabled people into destitution. The main disability benefit, Personal Independent Payments, PIP, will now be harder to claim by people, and they will need to demonstrate that they have greater difficulty with everyday activities, such as dressing and eating. According to the BBC, the Prime Minister said the current system had wreaked a terrible human cost with people who wanted to return to work and were unable to access the support they required. "This is not just unfair to taxpayers," he said. "It is also a bad long-term outcome for many of those people." Sir Keir also noted that 2.8 million people out of work due to long-term illness, stating this is a damning indictment of the Conservative record on welfare.